Hey guys, how are we today? Hope we're all having a lovely day. So for today's video, I am wrapping up the last few videos that I have done with a final, one color only challenge. And today my color of choice has been brown. So I have had a lot of fun doing the past few videos, and I've really enjoyed these challenges. I've really gotten some extra use out of the products that I do have and finding new ways to make them work together. So I've done some lovely last swatches for you of the colors that I'm wearing today. So if you're interested in how to create the look that I've got on today and my final thoughts on the one color only challenges, stick around. Okay, so I'm just going to pop a clip in my hair just to keep this bit out of the way. Whenever I wear it down like this, it always tends to get in the way. And I'm just going to scooch you in a little bit closer. So I have already primed my eyes with my Morphe translucent eye primer. And I'm really happy because today I will actually get to set this with my go-to eye priming setting eyeshadow, which is the Makeup Obsession single shadow in Mink. We can see I've already hit pan in this one, and I find that this combo of that primer and this eyeshadow, it just sets it perfectly. Really happy to be able to use this one in this challenge just because it's the one that I always use anyway. So I'm going to bring my mirror over, bring you in just a little bit more, and let's go to town on this one. So I'm just going to sweep this over just with my regular brush that I always use. Really just pressing it all over like I normally do and going up into the crease as well. I find that this shade is just perfect for me. Like it's slightly darker than my normal skin color, so it's perfect for that. What's that? Something there. It's perfect for that transition shade because it's a little bit of an in-between what I'm trying to do, but not so different that it stands out, and it just gives a perfect blend. I've tried using so many other eyeshadow formulas, even other ones from within the Makeup Revolution brand, to set the primer, but nothing ever works quite as well as this one does. I think I've tried maybe 5 or 6 different ones that are all fairly similar, but nothing sets it quite as well. Okay. And I'm really happy. I was looking through all of my eyeshadows and I had pretty much decided I was going to use my Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette, and I picked out the shades that I was going to use when I opened the drawer to grab my bronzer and contour, and I actually found this palette. So it's my Tarte's Pro to Go. I've only used this one maybe 2 or 3 times, and it was one of my last purchases from last year. I've been wanting this one for so long, and when I've saw it in the drawer, I realized, I'm like, yep, it's got browns in it. I definitely want to use this one today. So I did have a set look in mind that I was going to do with the Morphe palette. I will have to adjust that a little bit because these shades are a little bit lighter. So I'll be using these 2 shades here and this one here. So I'm going to go in with the matte shade Drive and just press that one all over the lid and blend it into where I had set my transition, just to show you a bit of a comparison. You can see that Drive is slightly darker, just slightly, so it will, you know, help to blend into what's already there and set it up a little bit further to be a little bit darker. So let's just start popping that one on. You can see it's just slightly different shaded. I didn't realize it is actually more of a warm shade, whereas the one I had in my, as my base, is more of a cool shade, but oh well. It's not going to be too noticeable once I finish. Oh my god, I love this palette. Just sitting here, I can smell it. I don't know what it is, what fragrance they put in here, but it's just absolutely beautiful. I love it every time I open, like not even every time I use it, just every time I open this one, it just smells so beautiful. So it's pretty much even all over from where I put in the transition shade. It set a really nice smooth base and it's looking pretty good there. I'm going to go into the outer corner now with the shade Boss, which is the metallic here. I'm just going to pop, you know, it on one of my, I think it's an e.l.f. blending eye brush. And I think I picked that up from Big W for like $3. Honestly, this one and the other little one I have that are, it's pretty similar, are fantastic. I absolutely love them. Just going to pop that on the outer V there and blend it up. I really do like it because this shade is, in the pan, it looks a lot darker, but when it's on, it's really only like very slightly darker. It's really nice. There is a darker matte in here, but I don't really want to pop a dark matte on here just because I don't want to go too dark here as well, but I don't really want to have an all matte look. So I'm just going back in with this one and blending that into my base transition shade. So you can see this eye is just slightly darker from about here across. Don't want to go too scary dark today, so. I think I may still have a little bit of mascara on there from yesterday, possibly, or a little bit of eyeliner because it still looks a fair bit darker than what this side does, right along the lash line. I don't know if that's noticeable, but see, when I turn my head from side to side, you can't really see it. I think it is just the lighting there that's making that side look a little bit darker. Okay, pretty happy with that now. So I'm going to go into the light shimmery shade here, Hype. Just going into my regular, you know, inner corner eye brush and just going to pop that right here, probably on the inner quarter. I don't really want to go much further across, but I'm just going to pop that up a little bit too. Okay, and I'm just going to go in with one of my smudgy brushes and back into the corner matte shade Drive. and just pop this here on the lower lash line. I do like it because it's still light enough that it doesn't look like I've done anything substantial, but you know, it gives that little bit of uniformity where it's not so top heavy. It's like I've only got eyeshadow from here on up and it's very obvious. It's just a, you know, uniform look all over. Okay, great. I'm pretty happy with that now. So next I'm going to go in with, and this is something for a bit of a change, I'm actually going in with a deep brown eyeliner today. Usually I've been sticking with my black eyeliner that I have in my 20 in 2020 project pan, but I'm really lucky. I really only have, I think, 2 or 3 eyeliners. 2 are black, 1's brown, so I'm going to go in with the brown one today. Oh, I'm pretty sure this one's fairly new because it is really, really pointed. So I normally just tightline. I don't tend to do a lot of, you know, lining above, like on my actual eyelid. Most of the time I do just tightline. I'm going to pop it up there a little bit today. Okay, just going to go in and tightline now. And just brush it very lightly along the lower lashes. Whoops. That's alright, I'll get that in a second. Okay, great. Just going to grab a little cotton bud, if I can find one with a pointed end, and just touch up that little spot where I got it there. Fantastic. I am just going to take a second. I'm going to pop some mascara on and put a little bit of a base on, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I have put some foundation on. I have mascaraed. I've just used my Revolution Big Lash Mascara that I have been using a lot lately and had in my mascara comparison video. I'm really excited about one of the next steps because it's the brown challenge today. I get to use bronzer. So for the last 4 videos, I haven't been able to use any bronzer, and in the last video, I wasn't able to use any highlighter either. So I'm really happy to be able to be using a couple of different things today. I'm going to go in with my Revolution Ultra Bronze. I think I've only used this one. Oh, I've never used this. I've only ever swatched it. So let me show you there. You can, sorry, my mirror's getting in the way there. You can see the pattern is still intact except for this small section here where I've swatched it. So I've never used this before. I have seen a lot of people using this one in project pans and getting a lot of progress through it. What I'll also be using today is my Revolution Ultra Contour Palette, because this one has quite a few different shades in it. And this one, I didn't realize, actually has a brown shaded bronzer that's not going to be too dark for my skin. Not bronzer, highlighter. I did find one that I had put away. Where was it? Here it is. Here's one that I use as like a body bronzer shimmer in summer, and it is actually a baked highlighter. So you can see there it says baked highlighter, but it is fairly dark on me, so whenever I put it on my face it's noticeably darker than my skin. So I'm really happy that I've noticed that, you know, there's 2 highlighters in here. Here's a white one with some gold specks in it, but there is a brown based highlighter there as well. So I'm going to use one of these as, I think I swatched these 3 earlier. I'm going to use one of those as the blush, and I'm going to use my bronzer here as well. So let's move everything out of the way so I don't stick my elbows in anything. Bring my mirror back over, and I'm going to get to bronzing a little bit first, just using, you know, my regular brush that I always do. Oh, I feel like I haven't worn bronzer in so long. It's pretty good. Like, it's not coming across patchy like some of the other ones I usually use. It is a little dusty. Let me just see if I can pick this up. You can see there's like a little bit of dust and powder here sitting on top, but like I'm literally just tapping it on. There's plenty on the brush there, and you can see it is a little bit dusty. So maybe it's just like it's firmly enough pressed in there, but not too firm. Just gonna pop a little bit of that there. Not necessarily, well, I generally don't tend to contour too much, but I normally just like pop bronzer on where I would contour and then just like swirl it out a little bit. Okay, good. That looks so much better than the last video I did. It wasn't until I was, you know, going through it and watching it again last night that I'm like, oh my god, I look like a ghost. Like, it's just so white and everything else was just so colourful. So pretty happy with that. Oh my god, I'm sorry, I've been saying that a lot this video. I know I have. It's not. Whoops. God, what's going on? All right, now I'm going to swatch the bronzer just on my hand, and then I'm also going to swatch the 3 colors in this palette, just so I can kind of have a look and see, you know, which one I think I'll use. So let me just, ooh, okie doke. So this one here is what I have used as the bronzer. And then pretty much just, you know, the 3 across there. I think I'm going to go in with this one. The one next to it is just like fairly similar to that one. That one's a little bit too dark, so I'm going to pop into this one here as a little bit of a blush. So it is fairly similarly pressed as to the bronzer. I don't know if you can see, you know, the powder sitting on top there. It's a bit, you know, I literally just tapped the brush into it, but, you know, it's good. They're fairly decently pigmented. There's not, you know, if it was an eyeshadow, it would, you know, just be a little bit of fallout. Doesn't really bother me that much. Normally when I use products like this, if I'm going back in multiple times like I am now, you know, just go in and keep adding more and more and building up and up, then it's fine because it gets picked up by the brush anyway. I don't know why I have a little bit of pigmentation right here, and it always tends to make it look really dark whenever I put any dark based blushes on, like red ones or, you know, brown ones, sometimes even purple ones. If I stick with pink or orange toned blushes, it's not normally too bad. See, when I come in, you can see it is fairly well blended out. I'm just going back in with my translucent powder just to blend that in a little bit. Just make it a little bit more seamless. Okay, great. Liking that, liking that. All right, now I'm going to go in to this beautiful shade here and pop some highlight on. Yep. Oh, it looks like that one's a little bit more firmly pressed, maybe just because it is more of a shimmery shade and less of a matte one. That's not bad. Like it's not the most outstanding highlighters that I do have. Even when you see I've, you know, got it on the brush here, it's only picking up a small amount at a time. But I would honestly rather that happen than get too much at once. So I'm just going to grab a little bit more and just hit underneath here, underneath my eyebrow. Awesome. I think that that's actually really nice. So that color that I've used as the blush has come across really well. That color that I've used as the highlighter has come across really well too. I would actually be really interested in possibly like just using one palette to do a full face. So I think I could do it. Like I could create a nice eye look with this, even though majority of it is mattes. There's really, you know, only these two that are shimmers or, you know, metallics, whatever you want to call them. I think that I could create some, you know, do a pretty nice job on a full face with that one palette. So maybe it's something I'll think about, and, you know, don't want to kind of be wasting my time if, you know, I've already got so much more makeup, and it has been kind of limiting doing these videos. Like I feel like I'm not really necessarily getting a lot of use out of what I have, but it was more of just a, you know, challenge to myself to see if I still could do, you know, just a one color look. I don't think I've ever done 5 of these though. I think at the most I did 1 or 2. I did one look with a brown and one look with a pink, and this was like years and years ago. So it's been pretty challenging to do these, and I have enjoyed it. It's definitely given me some more, you know, ideas on ways that I can use different products and, you know, not kind of limiting myself and doing the same thing every day. But it's not called a challenge for no reason. So I'm going to finish this off and pop some lipstick on. I'm going in with my Becca it's Ultimate Lipstick Love in Tawny. I'm not sure if maybe this is going to be a bit too light for this look. Possibly. I think it kind of works, but I could also see this working with a bit of a darker lipstick, but also a lighter, more nudie color as well. I do actually have a bit of a darker brown lipstick, so I have my ColourPop Disney Villains collaboration in Dr. Facilier, so let me just try this one as well. there we go. I like that one. So there is just a little bit of a colour difference there between them. So both of them work really well. And I do really love the formula on both of those lipsticks as well. So let me know what you think. If you guys have done something similar to this in the past, I would be really interested to see. If you'd like me to, you know, maybe try and do some other challenges like this again, let me know. You know, give me some hints and tips on, you know, colours that you'd like. Maybe I can do one where I only use, you know, berry colours or, you know, burgundy colours. I think that would be really difficult to kind of do, but, you know, let me know what you think. Whoop, I'm going to take that out. So yeah, comment down below if you have any questions, feel free to ask. But until then, I'll talk to you next time. Bye.